Welcome everybody to the Greenfork Food for Thought podcast. I'm Stephen Zabala. This is Kali Van Dyke, right? Is it Dyke or?
Meliski now.
Oh, Meliski. Okay.
Yeah.
Kali Meliski. She has continuous evolution. She's a yoga teacher, a personal trainer, much more. And we're happy to have her today. So thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Happy to be here.
So you're a personal trainer and you do yoga and apparently hip hop dance too. That's pretty cool. How'd you get started in all this?
Yeah, so it started really unconventionally. I did not do sports growing up. I was very uncoordinated. I was always strong and fast, but never really had that drive to push myself really. I went to school for early childhood education. I did special ed. I was teaching in a classroom with kids who were very traumatized, really had no control over their emotions, their actions. And so I did my yoga certification to use for myself and for my classroom.
Yeah.
So I really never had any intention of teaching a yoga class, teaching adults. Getting out of that was really for my special ed classroom, for my little preschoolers who needed that calmness.
Yeah. That's very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a backwards route into physical movement. And in doing the training, I just learned so much about myself, so much about my own body, my anatomy. And in using it with those little kiddos, it was really cool to see like them grasp that too and find that stillness in times where it was really hard. I'm not saying it like completely changed them, but you know, maybe. And then in my last year of teaching was the 2021 school year. It was just too much for me. I burned out as a teacher, got out of the district, and the gym I was going to at the time where I was just working out, he was looking for a new instructor. So I real quick did my my group fitness certification, jumped in there as an instructor, and then just kind of like expanded from there. So it was, it really started with like my own personal practice.
Yeah. That's great.
It was a lot of fun.
I love that you started with the kiddos. That's amazing. I think, kids should be taught mindfulness in schools.
For sure.
You don't really see that a lot in like the public school education. Some of the private schools like Montessori's and stuff like that teach that, like how to become a person and how to like, get in touch with yourself before you start learning about math and science and history and all that stuff. I think it's super important and should be integrated a lot more.
100%.
Even if you're not doing the physical practice necessarily, but you're learning to sit quietly and, with your thoughts and allow them to pass through. And there's so much power in that for anybody.
For everybody, yeah.
But if you teach them while they're young, and especially the special needs kids, that's a great tool that they can use for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, just those breathing exercises and even doing like, we did like balance poses and things to give them that little challenge because they were rowdy little kids. They needed that.
For sure.
It was really cool.
Yeah. I think one of the things about yoga, the physical practice for me is like, you have all these wild thoughts and everything, but you're so focused on trying to stay on one leg that like, it just, everything else goes away and that's where you're at. And I think that it's a big part of yoga for me, for mindfulness, for awareness, meditation. It all kind of comes together, but I also learned that from yoga too. And it's great that the kids can benefit from that.
For sure.
Yeah. So where did you do your training at?
So it's a program called Breathe for Change, and it was designed for educators. For people in the classroom to use in the classroom. It just like an ad popped up on my Facebook and I was like, sounds pretty cool. And then they do like a little, like an interview essentially with you to make sure it's the right fit for you. Because there's so many yoga teacher trainings. You can go anywhere. Some people get a lot more in depth and some people really, it's just the physical practice. So I find that even within like a group of yoga instructors, we all have such a different knowledge. Which is really interesting.
It's cool. And that's why like I hope to have a lot of different people like on my podcast. It's everybody, whether you're a personal trainer or a yoga teacher, everybody has their little niche, their own style. It's just cool to hear from everybody, and how they approach it.
For sure.
Myself, I come from a yoga background too. I started when I got involved with personal training and fitness. I started with a yoga teacher training, and I, like you, ended up with so much more than just the physical practice. You know, I've always been kind of athletic, I guess, but never really serious about it. But I went into that just hoping to learn more about yoga and came out with not just the physical practice, but I learned so much about myself. So I'm curious, you said that you did as well, but what specifically like came up for you in the training, and what did you identify with?
So one of the biggest things that I take away, and I try to have my students take away, is like the practice on the mat is just practice for life.
Yeah.
Like if you can be silly and try new things and make mistakes on the mat and it's no big deal, like why can't you do that in your day-to-day life?
Yeah.
And that for me, like I've always been like, we're all our harshest critics, right? But
Yeah, oh,
like
yeah.
I've always been really hard on myself. If things aren't perfect, I either quit or cry. Really, like
Yeah,
those,
yeah.
you know. So you don't like. So being able to do those hard things on the mat and then bring that outside and be like, you know what? If I fall out of a crow pose, like
Yeah.
didn't hurt anything.
Right.
If I fail at this one thing, I can just try it again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I think, you know, we go through struggles on the mat and come out the other end, and yeah, who cares if
Right.
you if you
Right.
mess something up or if you fail. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, you get back up and you just continue and show up the next day. And yeah, that's great. I mean, I learned so much about you know, quieting the mind and just
Yeah.
like learning to sit with thoughts and let them pass and not give them so much power.
Yeah.
And that's something I still struggle with today, you know,
100%.
but that's why they call it a practice.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I still struggle with like a long meditation.
Yeah.
My mind is always going, and to be
Yeah.
able to bring it down is really hard.
It is really hard. I do guided meditations now, like
Yeah.
most of the time.
Huge.
And that just gives me something to like connect to or whatever, or it might be a theme. I've been experimenting with like picking a topic and trying to meditate on that, and
Yeah.
then writing about it.
Yep.
Writing some poetry and stuff.
Very cool.
It's pretty cool. So after you did the teacher training, I'm sure there was like the physical, like the vinyasa part of it or
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah.
Was it hatha vinyasa or Bikram or?
So I do a slow flow. We were taught a vinyasa practice
Yeah.
in my yoga teacher training, and I just found that while I'm able to keep up with it, I don't connect as much with the movements as if I hold them for a little bit longer. So like, yes, I enjoy like a hot, hard flow sometimes,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like I get the same benefits out of that as going a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Really allowing my joints to get into the poses, seeing how it feels. What can I change? Can I relax here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I find
that's a big piece that I think a lot of people struggle with, is like just sitting still
100%.
in a pose. You know, when I coach, I incorporate yoga into it, and that's going to be my next question to you, is how do you incorporate yoga? But you know, people just want to like twist, take a breath, okay, we're out of it. You know, it's like, no, you got to spend a little bit of time there and like just explore your body, explore that mind body connection and where you're feeling tension and learning to let go. Again, it's like you can take that into your life as well.
Right.
When do you let go of things? It can be hard to do, you know, if you're not used to it. Like one of the cues that I identified with quite a bit was, you know, say you're in a posture or something that's supposed to be relaxing, like pigeon or something. It's like, okay, tense everything up first and then let it go. And and then you realize you were tense before you even tensed up.
Sure.
So like letting go of it is huge. But anyways, so I incorporated yoga into my fitness and stuff. Like how did you do that for yourself?
Yeah, so I find most people are lacking core strength and mobility.
Yeah.
So really keeping that in the back of my mind from like a yogi point of view, like if we're doing a squat, what can I change to make the hips more open? What can I change to bring the core into play a little bit more? Can we drop the shoulders down? Can we find relaxation in some parts of the body, but still lift pretty heavy?
Yeah.
And I find that that's hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Myself included.
Yeah.
Definitely. I've had my share of injuries and things just because I'm over tensing.
Yeah.
And most people are. We walk around tense in the winter. We walk around cold, and we just, if we can all just relax that out a little bit.
Yeah.
I tend to do a lot of, I call it like weighted warriors. I don't know if there's a term for it, but like, okay, you're in this pose, you're finding it pretty easy. Where can we add a load? Where can we make it a little bit harder to get your body to respond a little bit more to that?
That's great.
Yeah. It's fun.
So you hold long poses with weights?
Yep.
That sounds
Yeah,
intense. It
it's
sounds
intense for
yeah.
sure. And it might not be a heavy weight to
Yeah.
start. It's a 3 pound or something, and then
Yeah.
you're kind of coming in and out of a lunge or a warrior or something
Yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
just challenging the body and the mind in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I think yoga teachers have some of the best cues.
For
So when
sure.
you go from, cueing a yoga sequence or a posture or whatever into, cueing a back squat or whatever it is, like you're able to, I learned from the feet up, like
Yep,
start at the feet and then work your way up
for sure.
each little main point. So yeah, I think, just having that mind body connection and being able to relay it and hopefully those cues land,
Yeah.
is
And if
huge.
they don't, finding a different way to say it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a physical cue that they need too sometimes.
Do you do a lot of isometrics?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like those long yoga hold poses, but you do that with
Yeah.
your fitness clients as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of them. I tend to have older clients just because that's who has time and money.
Sure.
Usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't love it always.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's they get used to it, but
Yeah.
the first couple sessions I usually do less of that.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get them used to moving their body again, and then once I feel like they're trusting me a little bit more, trusting themselves a little bit more, then we get into those more uncomfortable, weird
Yeah.
sensations, because it
Yeah.
is like it's almost like an unsafe feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like,
you have to ease into it.
Yeah. And if you drop someone right into like a 13-minute meditation, like
Yeah.
you're out. Like
Yeah.
nobody's gonna say yes to
Not
that.
coming back for that.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think it's hard out there because people see this stuff on social media. They see like all the sexy fitness people,
Sure.
and they want to do like a single arm overhead barbell squat or whatever.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's like, okay, we need to be able to hold a lunge. We need to
Right.
see like, can you get into a Cossack squat position? Are your hips mobile enough?
Yeah.
Before we even touch a barbell, we have to make sure that you are able to move properly, and that stuff is not sexy. It's like
not fun.
it's not fun,
It's uncomfortable. It's hard.
but you do walk away feeling a lot better.
Definitely.
I remember the first yoga class I ever took. I never felt my hips open that much.
Yeah.
And it felt so amazing. And I walked away from that like, okay, there's something to this.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, the first time you do it, it feels like magic.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what happened or why, but I'm a totally different person than I was when I walked in the door.
Yeah. Mentally and physically.
Yeah.
I remember walking out of, you ever done Kundalini?
I have not.
No?
Oh wait, yes I have.
Yeah.
I've done it once. Yeah.
Yeah. I did it a handful of times when I first got into yoga, and I was like, oh, this is really powerful.
Yeah.
I just felt like my heart open up so much, and like my creative vision was flowing, and
because you really have to get out of your mind.
Yeah, it takes you into your breath and into your body and like movements, and it's repetitive, and you get a little like high from it.
Yeah.
And I visualized like my heart space like sending love out, and it was a trip.
That's incredible.
It was wild. Very, very, very powerful. Very powerful stuff.
Awesome.
So do you do any other modalities?
So I have taught barre and boxing in the past
cool.
as well. I don't currently have anywhere to teach that, but I really like both of those modalities. Barre, because it's again those isometric movements. You're holding a position, you're coming in and out a little bit, but you're just there.
Yeah.
Like you might do 5 different variations of a lunge, but they're all in a row and you're in that lunge the whole time. Or the same with like a squat. So I found for me personally that saved my knees.
Okay.
I had a lot of injuries in my knees, nothing that I ever like looked into, but just constant pain. 100% of the time I was in pain. Running was excruciating. Squatting was painful. And I just pushed through it. I didn't really do all the things that I tell my clients to do.
Oh, yeah.
But then I started taking barre classes, and at first it felt worse.
Yeah.
But then once I was able to find those muscles, it's incredible. It really is.
Yeah, tell me more about like what is barre, because I don't even know.
Yeah, so barre, you're using a ballet bar.
Okay.
And so you're using that for support to get like deeper in your squats, deeper in your lunges. But it's also like once you're down there, you stay down there and you kind of pulse.
Okay.
And it's set up like the way you teach barre is kind of like you would teach a dance class. You break it out into like 8 counts. You go along to the music so that it's easier for people to fall into.
Yeah.
Music helps everyone.
Oh, yeah.
You can really set the tone for a class with the right or wrong music.
For sure.
But if you've got like about 128 beats per minute is what you would use for like a bar class.
Okay.
I find that really works for like my HIIT classes too.
Yeah.
But that tempo, like just to have that and then to be able to kind of fall into that, again, it helps you get out of your mind, more into your body.
Yeah.
And knowing that there's like an 8 count or a 16 count, you're willing to hold that pose for a little bit longer, even though your whole body is shaking, even though everything hurts.
Yeah.
You know, and then by the time you come up, you're like, okay, I did it.
Yeah, you're not just like waiting for the instructor to tell you when you can come up
Right.
and like dying inside.
Yeah.
You know, because you can hear it.
You get a rhythm for the class. Like the first one is hard and horrible.
So is it like, real quick, I had this one teacher out in Arizona who was great, and it was kind of like mixed movement a little bit. He had a bunch of different classes, but he would have, we'd hold poses for like 90 seconds. He didn't have a clock or music or anything. So he would count down from 90 with his voice. And I got so sick of his voice because I'm just holding this plank for 90 seconds. Like, come on, man.
Good internal clock though.
yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah. Okay. So bar, it's like you're getting into like deep end range motion, range of motion and like staying there and pulsing in that.
Yeah.
That seems pretty good. Yeah.
And then even after that, like 8 or 16 count is up, you change it, but just a little bit. Okay. So maybe you're pulsing at the bottom end of a squat, and now we're going full range of motion squats up and down. Yeah. And now we're going to stay at the top and pulse range of motion. And now we're going to go all the way hips to heels and up and down.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just finding different ways to hit the same muscles over and over and over.
Yeah. That must be crazy for your hips and legs.
Incredible. Yeah.
I gotta try that sometime.
Yeah.
There's a lot of men that do that or no?
There's not. It was always fun when guys would come to class, because like I had one day he was like, I'm an MMA fighter, I got this. And I was like, okay, we do strength training, we do bar, and we do boxing. It's a circuit class.
Yeah.
You're gonna do great. I'll start you at boxing because you're more comfortable there.
Yeah.
And he did great at the boxing, moved over to the strength, started to burn out, got to bar, and left.
Yeah, he left?
Sorry.
Oh, couldn't handle it?
Yeah, because it's just such an intense like muscle burning that you really don't get from anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I've done similar things. I've never taken a full bar class, but I've, stayed in a low squat and pulsed, and it burns.
It's a whole different world.
Yeah. Have you ever, did you ever take my animal flow class?
I did.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I thought that's right.
Or was it Saratoga Winery?
Yeah, that was years ago.
Yeah,
right?
It was a long time.
Long time ago. Yeah, that kind of stuff is similar. Like you're reaching those end range positions, but I just love it because it's so different. It's like outside of
such a fun way to move.
Yeah, and it's almost like dance. Where you can just throw on some beats and move around and just have fun. Once you learn the structure of it, like just the different movements, and then you can tie them together and create flows out of nowhere. And
it's like choreography, I would assume.
Yeah, you can do it one of two ways. You can choreograph something, so like put together piece by piece, like okay, do this, and then go from this one to this one and this, and create a whole sequence, and it tie it together beautifully. Or you can just freestyle, and not worry about hitting each side symmetrically or making sure you get every movement on each side. It's like, just go.
Yeah.
And I kind of really like that too.
It allows you to be really creative.
Yeah. I'm kind of like leaning, I've talked about this in the last few podcasts, but I'm leaning towards that type of movement a lot more lately.
Yeah.
Instead of doing like barbell work or, even like classic HIIT training where you're just, one thing to the next and whatever, and so rigid and structured. I kind of just like moving and experimenting and feeling different parts of my body, and it's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I feel really good. Like you get into different positions and you use your whole body, and it's therapeutic physically but mentally too.
Absolutely.
It's a creative outlet. You mentioned before that you do hip hop classes, hip hop dance classes.
I don't teach them, I just take them. I find it's like a really nice outlet to like balance out everything else I do.
Yeah.
It's also the only cardio that I enjoy.
See? Exactly.
I'm not a distance runner. I'll do a run now and then. But yeah, you got to find something you enjoy. Like you were just saying with the flow, like what I tell all my clients is like, for longevity, find something you enjoy. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
If you enjoy doing it, you're going to stick with it. If you hate it every single time, you're going to stop.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it as a punishment for your body or a punishment for what you ate yesterday, or, you're not going to stick with it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, finding ways to move that it doesn't feel like exercise. It just feels like play.
Right.
You know, whether that's like pickleball or cross country
Exactly.
skiing or hip hop dance. I've always been so like, I'm not really coordinated all that much. I mean, I guess I am. Like with the animal flow, it does require coordination.
Sure.
But as far as like dancing, I got some silly, goofy moves,
That's,
but like,
I mean, that's what it is. Yeah.
I want to learn like, all the TikTok dances, like,
Right.
I just think it'd be cool to be able to like bust something out at a party or something, or a wedding or something.
It's definitely fun. And it's just a different way of moving your body.
Yeah.
I do it right here in the mall at C3, and the instructor is incredible at creating this space where like we're all in there together shaking our ass, but like you don't feel uncomfortable doing it.
Yeah.
It's a totally safe place. It's totally like we're all there for the same reason, to let loose, and nobody's looking at you. You don't have time to look at anybody else.
Right.
Like,
yeah. You really focus on what you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a really fun way of it's that outlet.
Yeah.
I also used to go out clubbing. I have no interest in doing that anymore.
Yeah.
But this is like a nice replacement for that.
Yeah, it's the same environment, right? You got the music, the lights.
Lights are flashing, it's dark, got the loud music.
Yeah.
The really heavy bass. Like,
yeah. And you don't have drunk guys hitting on you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yep.
I have a friend who does ecstatic dance. She's like part of this club. And they just get together and like the lights are really low. I don't even know if there's any like flashing lights or colored lights or anything, but they just put on music and they just like free flow dance and get so creative and like, just vibe out together. And she says it's like the most amazing experience to just let loose. And
so therapeutic.
Yeah. I remember we did a little bit of that in my teacher training, and like this one girl, this memory stands so clear, and I might have talked about it before, but this one like small, skinny girl, she was super cool. She's from Tel Aviv and just like kind of soft-spoken a little bit. She comes running across the floor, screaming, "Motherfucker!" It was like Rage Against the Machine was playing, and we're all just getting down. And just like the expression, that pure expression.
You need that.
Yeah,
and we don't have many outlets in life, in our day-to-day, to like actually let go and let that happen.
Yeah. I feel like anger, or like that outward expression of anger, like there's not a whole lot of ways to do it in a way that is not harmful.
Right.
It's like you can hit a punching bag or something like that.
That's what I like about boxing.
Yeah. It's nice to just take out your aggression on
it.
Whereas the other things help for me. They help me kind of deal with different emotions by not distracting, but working through them.
Exactly.
Like you step on your mat, you're like, okay, I'm feeling sad today, but I'm still going to do this practice even though I'm sad.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of move through it with the intention of, hey, let's just explore this and move around and see what happens.
Yeah. And I've had people cry on their mats during classes. I've had people just lay there the whole time.
Yeah.
And like whatever you're feeling when you come in the room, fine.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, I feel like some people get intimidated.
For sure.
And I understand. It's hard to do something new. It's difficult to try something new, but like you said, whether it's the hip hop class or a yoga class or whatever, like, you can go in there and do whatever you want, really.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. And we're here to help.
Yeah.
I tell my clients, like when I coach, right now we're doing a strength phase, and people are testing for their 1 rep max.
Nice.
And today it was super easy. I'm like, you're doing your 1 rep max. Here's a few pointers. If you need me, I'm here, but pretty much do what you want.
Yeah.
And if people like have injuries or don't like an exercise or need a modification, I'm like, you could come in here and do half the shit that's on the board, and I don't care. I care that you're here and you're moving, and whatever you need, I'm here for.
Yeah, you showed up. Like that's the hardest part.
It is.
Walking through the door.
Yeah.
And then once you're there, like I have people all the time, they're like, "I'm sorry, I don't want to do that today." I'm like, "I don't care."
Yeah.
Like let's do something else.
Yeah. For sure.
And it's always that, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Don't apologize.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Or they have to drop weights, and I'm like, "I'm really sorry. Can I have a lighter weight?" Yeah, of course.
Sorry for what? Yeah, it's your body.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just because you could do it yesterday doesn't mean it's going to feel good today.
Yeah. I feel like you probably have the same. It sounds like you have the same kind of style that I do. Like just coming from that yoga background, it's more peaceful, like more accepting.
For sure.
You know, there's every trainer has a different style, like we said, but there's
absolutely.
some trainers that are like, fuck that, like push it, go harder, blah blah blah. You can do this, blah, blah, blah. And I've never been like that,
No,
you know.
I don't respond well to that.
Right? Yeah, I don't want to hear that. Like if I'm not feeling it, and it's what I told people today, 1 rep max. Like you're lifting super heavy weights, just be careful.
Right.
Like err on the side of caution. You're 40 something years old. It doesn't matter how much you know you can deadlift.
Right.
Like it matters that you can get up and go to work tomorrow without a back injury. So if it doesn't feel good, don't push it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, those, I mean, the PRs are cool and they're fun, and it's like, you know, one thing you can check off your list, but I personally don't coach my clients on that, just because I feel like there's such a risk for the ego to take over.
Yeah.
And so I feel like for me, with my clients, we stay a little lighter all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm never going to push you to your very maximum.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much risk for injury.
Yeah. You don't need to go there.
Right. And my clients that I have right now aren't working towards anything except life.
Right.
So that might change if I have someone come in who's working towards a PR. Like obviously I'll change my coaching style for that person. But general population, like you don't need to deadlift 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Like when is that functional in your life?
It's not. It's not.
Yeah. It's still like a cool, thing you can check off. Or
yeah.
Like I like pushing myself in my own personal workouts, but I just feel like for the general population, that's not.
Do you stick to mostly functional training with your clients?
For the most part. I mean, we do a little bit of everything. I switch it up every day. I let them use all the equipment. I really like seeing people get a barbell for the first time, and get those heavy kettlebells up off the floor. And I find there's a lot more reward in letting them kind of play with the equipment than being like, okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, I have a plan going in, but like if they come in and they're like, my knee hurts, I'm like, all right, we're going to work on that first before we do anything. And maybe we don't get to anything on my plan today. That's okay.
Yeah. That's the art of coaching.
Yeah.
Right? Is like having to meet people where they're at, like not only from the start, but like every time you see them, and that's what makes it fun, I think,
It's like a puzzle.
Yeah. And the more you expand your base, which it sounds like you have a pretty wide variety of knowledge base. I don't know if I said that right, but
you dabble.
You got a lot of tools in your toolbox that you can use to help people with, and that's awesome. It's amazing. But being able to let people have fun, switch it up on the go, on the fly, that's what it's all about. And so you do mostly functional training. What was I going to ask you? Yeah. What else do you like incorporate? Do you do you said you coach HIIT classes. Do you do like cardio training, conditioning training, stuff like that?
So the HIIT classes are mostly like core based.
Okay.
Core and balance, basic strength. I was teaching them at the Y for a long time. So it was like a little bit limited in what we had access to. Just as far as like, there's only one piece of equipment. You can't use that in a class.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of body weight and dumbbell things.
Yeah.
I'm not teaching any HIIT classes currently just because I don't have the space to do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like that group. It's a different feel to have a whole group than to be one-on-one with a client.
Yes,
I like the energy of a group class.
For sure. So you've done group classes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But primarily now you're just doing the one-on-ones.
Right now I'm doing one-on-ones and then yoga classes. Yeah.
That's awesome. And you're bouncing around doing the yoga classes. Whereabouts are you teaching?
So I teach on Viola Street in Caliber Fitness.
Okay.
That's where I train out of. And then that's also where I hold one of my yoga classes. And then I'm using C3 here in the mall. She's allowed me to use her space during the day when she's not holding classes.
Nice.
So I do that Thursdays and Saturdays.
Cool. Yeah. I'll have to come check out a class.
Yeah.
I'm right here in the mall, so it works out.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Do you have clients that are training for anything fun? Like, High Rocks is really popular. Maybe 5K or.
I have a couple that are working towards a marathon. Oh, they were runners long before they came to me, and they were looking to just kind of round out their practice. They were noticing some starting to be residual injuries from just being a very forward back movements. So working to kind of support them around, they've already got their running I don't feel like that's my strong suit.
Right.
So coaching somebody to be a runner is not, I would refer them to somebody else.
Yeah.
But to be able to give them the hip strength and the knee strength and the ankle strength to then bring their running further, I feel like is that's my niche.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Running is it's one linear movement, right? And it's over and over and over again, that repeated patterns. So yoga is definitely great. And not just yoga, but like, the things you're doing, cross training with the yoga, mobility. Are you personally training for anything?
Right now, no. Trying to be more consistent. Just in my workouts in general, and finding time around, I'm still building a business. I'll be 2 years in March doing this on my own. And so there's a lot behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
Paperwork is not my strong suit. Social media is not my strong suit.
Yeah.
So those things take a little bit longer than they probably should. Yeah. So I'm just trying to get back into like finding work-life balance.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It is. As a business owner. Yeah, it 100%. Really is. I've been at it for like 6 or 7 years now. Yeah. And, I've been able to create one sort of good. We actually just switched up my schedule. The reason I asked is because I kind of, like I said before, like switched into a different routine as far as like exercise goes, where, I enjoy running. I enjoy playful movements and flow and creativity. So just wondering, like, when you train, what kind of training what does that look like?
Yeah. So I like to do single-sided things. Yeah. I find that to be challenging for me. And brings a lot of core into play, which like is a bonus, right? Yeah. Like I'm not just doing a bicep curl, I'm doing a bicep curl balanced on one foot. Yeah. So like, yes, I'm working a single muscle, but I'm also working full body. Yeah. I also get really bored doing the same thing over and over. Yeah. So every workout I do is completely different. Yeah. And for most of my clients as well, some of them really need that repetitive same thing every time, which is fine. But most of them really respond to like changing it up, using different equipment, and that's how I need to work out. Yeah, yeah. Are you training for anything right now?
No, no. There's a half marathon in Saratoga. I think iRun is putting it on. Nice. I'd love to get them on here to talk about that. But I like running. That's awesome. It's like it's something I can do. It's really good for my headspace, and it just gets me out there breathing and sweating and moving. And that's really what I like to do. I might do a high rocks. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Like I'm kind of over that like super intense type of deal, but we'll see. I don't know. I want to educate myself more. I think as far as training, it's like training my mind right now and just like educating myself. And as far as movement goes, I'm kind of, I was starting to get a little burnt out, honestly. Sure. Like doing the same stuff over and over again for so many years. And I just got kind of tired of it. And I would go to the gym and it would feel like a chore. Yep. And so that's kind of where I'm at now is like, like you said, most of your clients are training for life. Yeah. That's really what I'm doing. I don't really care about looking a certain way anymore. I don't care about being the strongest person that I can be. I really just want to be able to feel good. Yeah. Mentally and physically. And they're tied together, of course. So tied together. We separate them when we teach, and we separate them when we think about things, but like they're so interconnected. Yeah. Like if you can't have one without the other. Exactly. If your body feels like shit, then you're going to be unmotivated. You're not going to want to do the things that make you feel good, and then you're not going to feel good. So your mental is going to be affected. It's going to feel the same way. So, do you bring any kind of like, I think we already kind of went over this, but like mindfulness or any kind of, that mentality component into your training with your people? Absolutely. It's not always outward. Like I don't always tell them why we're doing things a certain way. Yeah. If they ask, I'll of course like explain it to them. But a lot of times it's more like, what's my intention in having them do this movement? And sometimes it's like, I have one client who like a sit to stand is really scary because there's no back. Yeah. And they're going to fall backwards. They're sure of it. It's going to happen. I'm going to fall backwards. Yeah. So like working through things like fear is so cool. Like it's so cool to like watch that change. Yeah. Or things like, the residual knee pain. I cannot do a deep squat. I cannot, it's not possible. Mm-hmm. Well, let's do these other movements
and like see how your knee is all the way up at your chest. Like you can do a deep squat.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
so
just like flipping it, that's another thing from yoga training is like flip the shape.
Yeah.
Right? Like an L sit is the same as a down dog.
Yeah.
Is the same as a standing forward fold.
Yeah.
So like where can I flip it and allow them to find that new neural pathway that they're like, okay, I have the hip flexion, I have the knee flexion, I have the ankle flexion. The only thing stopping me is me. Right. Yeah. So explaining that to clients is fun. To see them kind of be like, oh yeah, okay.
So you'll give people an exercise just so you can see what happens. Like I want to watch your fear response here, and then we can work on it, and then we'll do it again in like a week, and we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes it depends on the person. I'm sure you know how to read people as a coach. Like there's a point where you can push people through, and there's a point where you really have to say like, nope, we're not doing this today. Like stop. And even if they don't know that they're at that point, like, you can see that fear response in their body. And you're like, you know what? Let's do something else. Sometimes they're like, no, I can push through. I'm like, no, it's fine. Like,
no, we're gonna move on. It's okay.
So like in that aspect, I bring a lot of mindfulness in. I do mostly 30-minute sessions, so I try to like work them the whole time. Because I don't want to waste anybody's time. Like I'm not going to put them on a treadmill and just watch. You know. So we do like start to finish. We're moving the whole time. Unless they have very specific questions that we need to like dive into. And usually I'll have them talk to me about that outside of the session time.
Do you ever get people that just want to kill time and treat you like a therapist?
Oh yeah. 100%. Yep.
I feel like a therapist a lot of times, more so with the one-on-ones, but sometimes in group classes. But tell me about your experience with that.
Yeah, so it usually starts with like them telling a story, and then like all of a sudden the movement stops, and all of a sudden they're just standing there, and now they're leaning on something, and they're like, okay, but like, can we talk and work? And sometimes everybody needs that outlet.
For sure.
And like maybe I'm the only person they're talking to today. So I allow space for that. I have like referred people. I don't know any therapists personally, but I have, gently told people like therapy's great.
Not me,
I
but
stand by it. Right. Like I'm not a therapist. I can't really help you with this. But most of it is just holding space for people. Because everybody's got shit going on in life. Everybody's going through something. They may or may not tell you about it, but you can see them holding it in their body.
Absolutely.
Especially when you've been working with people for a year or more. You can see how they carry themselves differently. You can see that they're just not mentally there. And so sometimes they really just need that half hour to vent. And like that's still a good use of their time. It might not have been a physical workout, but they got a mental release out of it.
Absolutely.
So
I think you as a coach in this industry and with the yoga too, like you see how people move. Like you can see, I can tell a lot about a person by the way that they hold themselves. Like how you be. Like somebody said, how you show up on your mat is how you show up to the world. I think that's something you said earlier, but like, just watching people move, seeing that their fear responses and their sort of timidness or shyness into getting into a certain pose or not being able to sit still. It's like, what's going on there? And that's why there's yoga therapists, right? And the body keeps score, right? It tells you a lot about what's happening. And, you can either have those like outbursts in a class, or it can trigger something or whatever. And, like you said, just being able to hold space for that is great.
I'm not qualified to give advice by any means, but to just listen. Some people, that's all they need.
And you've made it this long in your life. I'm sure there's been trials and tribulations. Like you've got some experience, you've got some life experience.
For sure,
and I think that's what makes people comfortable is, noticing that somebody cares about them.
Not everybody has somebody to talk to. So.
And I feel like most of us coaches and yoga instructors and whatever else, we get into this business because we want to help people. And so it's recognizable and easy to talk to, and why not spill the beans,
right? Right. And who am I going to tell? Like it's a safe place.
What else do you we already went over that. All right, we'll do my last meal question.
All right,
we can talk a little bit about nutrition too. Do you do anything with nutrition?
I tried to just eat like whole foods.
Yeah.
I don't track my food.
Yeah.
I had a really poor relationship with food for a really long time, a lot of body image issues, and I just find that for me personally, I'm not going to count calories. I'm not going to weigh my food out.
Sure.
I'm going to eat when I'm hungry, and I'm going to eat foods that are good for me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to reach for a bag of chips or an ice cream once in a while because I find joy in that.
Yeah.
But it's all about balance for me.
For sure.
Just finding that.
Yeah.
That comfortability.
Same. I personally went through years of body dysmorphia. You know,
I think most people have.
Yeah. I mean, coming into my story, when I came from yoga, right, and so I was kind of yoga fit. Like I was very like lean and kind of not skinny, you know, but like just very lean. And then when I first started personal training, I was at a gym with a bunch of bodybuilders, and those guys have crazy body dysmorphia, and they go to the extreme of like, you know, just chugging egg whites out of a carton, eating whatever the hell's in front of them, but also like constantly looking in the mirror, you know, overtraining, all these like diet hacks. And I'm like, holy crap. And so I got involved in that world and learned some of that stuff. You know, this is not good for me. And, and, you know, I just wanted to kind of fit in with the crew, and I ended up kind of getting a lot bigger, picking up some bad habits, and just mentally like caring too much about how I looked. I feel like this fitness industry, it's a young man's game sometimes, or a young person's game. You know, you have these 20-something Instagram models that are like, drink lemon water in the morning, you can look like this. It's like, no, you look like that because you're 20 years old. You know,
and you have a quick metabolism, and you're in a calorie deficit, and you're working out 6 hours a day. You know, you're using a filter.
You're using a filter, maybe some, you know, and maybe some drugs or like biohacking, you know, stuff or whatever it is. But you know, it's definitely not what you're advertising for. It's not fucking lemon water that's making you like that. It's
that's
like
not going to do anything.
It's like, you know, speed or something. You know, I don't know. So it's frustrating in this industry to. So that's what you see. So you feel like you have to be that. You know, and as I've gotten older, I've just kind of stopped caring as much. I really don't care. And you know, maybe those people that are super fit get more clients and maybe make more money. But that doesn't mean they're a better coach. You know, when you're talking about coaching, you do have to practice what you preach a little bit.
For sure.
You know,
100%.
You have to be able to know what you're talking about and have some sort of experience yourself with it. But, you know, I just see it all the time. And it's frustrating.
It's damaging to people. Because you're like, I am drinking lemon water in the morning. Why don't I have an 8-pack? Like, what's wrong with me? You know? What am I not doing enough of? And it's just that always constantly like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. I did get to the point at one point where I had a 6-pack, but I was teaching 7 classes a day, working out on top of that, not eating, not sleeping. That's not sustainable. And now
it's not worth it.
I don't care about that. Like, I don't care. My body is strong and capable and pain-free right now. Like, that's what I'm worried about for myself personally.
Absolutely. That's a good place to be in. Just that balance. I think it
takes
just
a long time to get there.
I was gonna say it comes with age. You know, it comes wisdom. It's tough. It's tough out there, and you know, people look for the external, and supplement companies, trainers, online fitness influencers, all those people, they use fear. They use what you don't have. To sell you something.
It's the easiest way to control people. Play on their fears. For sure.
But I like that. You know, most of the people that I've had on here, yourself included, we don't do that. You know, the good coaches just want to help you. And like I said, we're not trying to sell you any like super sexy products or quick fixes. It's like you have to address your weaknesses. You know, build a solid foundation, and then we build up from there. And that's hard to sell.
It is.
You know,
it is. And not every client responds to that. You know, they're like, I'm still 1 pound away from my goal. I'm like, what is 1 pound? Like, 1 pound doesn't matter at all.
No,
but that's such a hard shift. I feel like especially with the older population, like 50 plus, I feel like is really stuck in this like numbers game. And not everybody, but it seems like a little generational. I think our generation and hopefully the next generation has started to like back off that a little bit. But it's really hard for people. Like I gained a pound over the weekend. I'm like, I'm sure I did too. Like,
I gain a pound overnight. Like,
right?
it's
Like,
just
yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes
First
I
sip of
fluctuate
water,
7 pounds in a day. Like,
yeah.
it's normal.
You wake up and you're like shredded. You're like, oh shit, and then you have a
Yeah.
sip of water and
Right. Right.
puff out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
think
hard.
it is generational, right? Like
Yeah.
my mother, she was in Weight Watcher. She tried all these yo-yo diets and stuff, and
Yeah.
she had some success with a lot of it. Now she, I think she's still a little bit stuck in like the low fat, low sugar thing,
Sure.
but it's what those people got fed,
Right. Right.
carbs are bad, sugar's bad, fats are bad,
Right.
all that stuff. And it's just so people could sell like Jenny Craig bars and
Exactly.
meals and
Yeah.
stuff.
Which aren't actually any healthier than
No.
anything else.
I used to go into the cupboard and eat all my mom's Jenny Craig like peanut butter protein bars
Yeah.
because they're good.
They're tasty. Yeah.
Yeah. But now I'm seeing like I think our generation has had a little bit of that and then has
Mhm.
learned to try to shift it.
Yeah.
We're more educated. And now the younger generation, my son, he's 17, they are getting more into the like it's that fitness influencer, like that body,
Mhm.
like that look, And I guess maybe that's always been around, but I
Sure.
feel like, I'll go to like Planet Fitness or something and I'll see girls wearing nothing,
Right.
and guys dressed in like these, pajama pants and whatever. It's like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
I don't know what
Everybody's
their
on
deal
their
is.
phone,
Yeah,
not
on your
actually working out.
yeah, and just like looking at themselves in the mirror,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I don't know, it's interesting, the generational thing. I hope that they can snap out of the superficial physical appearance of
Yeah.
it. And
It's hard.
yeah.
It's hard to get out of that. Because we're all a little vain.
Yeah.
A little egotistical,
I'm not
We've
gonna
all
lie.
got that.
Yeah. You want to
For
look good
sure.
naked, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. You look in the mirror, you're like, damn, I look good today. You
Yeah.
know?
And that's that's a byproduct of working out, of like living a healthy life.
Yep.
You look at somebody and you're like, oh, that person looks healthy.
Yes.
If you look, and it goes both ways. If somebody's like really obese, you're like, that person's not healthy. Or if they're rail skinny or like super lean, you're like, that's not healthy either. They look
Right.
emaciated and malnourished.
Yeah.
So
you need food.
yeah, you need to eat food, people.
Here's some bread.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
Please eat. Yeah. But it's that balance. And I think, like we said, it comes with age. It comes with like messing around with different stuff and trying it out and seeing what fits and
what's
whatever.
enjoyable.
Yeah. I think for a long time I was into like extreme things.
Yeah.
I was like up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
And I guess that's just my personality. I like to do hard shit.
Right.
Yeah, I did this really hard version of yoga called Budokan, and it's and that was like the most intense class I've ever taken, and mentally I came out of that so much stronger. But like, that's just one example. I do 75 hard sometimes, and these things are extreme and not always like the healthiest things to do, but
I think it depends the mentality you go into it with though
Yeah.
too. Like if it's like, is this a challenge that I want to be able to do because I want to be able to do a challenge, or am I doing this because I hate my body and I want to lose X amount of pounds in the
True.
next 75 days?
Yeah.
Like if you go into it with like a mentality of like, I'm going to build some good habits in this time and then I'll reassess in 75 days or whatever, and see what I want to hold on to and what I want to let go of.
Yeah.
So I think it can be really beneficial, but for some people it ends up being that yo-yo where you're like, okay, I did this for 75 days, fuck all that.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do nothing.
Yeah.
Like
I'm going to go down the other end.
Yeah,
and that's
right.
that's kind of what happened to me. Like,
it's easy to do. Yeah.
You don't drink for 75 days, and then the 76th day you're like, oh, give me some beer, and
Right.
you're just eating burgers and beers, and like it's
Yeah. So me personally, I don't respond well to that. Like the second you tell me you can't eat a hamburger for 75 days, I'm like, all I'm eating is hamburgers.
Yeah.
Like, whatever it is, like I'm just not a person who responds well to that.
Yeah.
But I see a value in it for other people.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. It's good to have goals. It's good to challenge yourself.
100%.
Whether it's a
Absolutely.
short-term goal, like a workout goal, or, a long-term goal. But I think that, we know this as coaches, like you can set a goal, but once you get closer to it, that goal is going to shift.
Yeah.
Like you might start off, let's say your older clients, they want to lose weight because they're obsessed with the scale.
Sure.
That might turn into, once they start working out, they're like, oh, actually I'm building muscle and I'm losing body fat, and I like the way I feel and look. And so I don't really care much more. I don't care about the scale as much.
Yeah.
I want to be able to run a 5K without stopping, or I want to be able to hit this back squat depth, or make it through a yoga class without having to pause, or some of those non-scale victories that we talk about.
Yeah, that's what I always point out to people when they're like stuck on that number. I'm like, but do you see like what you're doing right now?
Yeah.
Remember when you came in, you couldn't do a push-up, and now you're doing 20, like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Or being like, but look at your triceps, like look at that popping out, know?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, you're right, know? So it's a hard shift, but and it happens internally, like no external motivator is gonna like get you over that finish line, whatever it is for you.
Yeah.
You have to like find that within yourself, which is hard and uncomfortable, and
but I think the gym is one of the best places to learn that, or the yoga studio, or the yoga mat. It's like, because you push yourself and you control it, and you decide whether you're going to go that extra step and go for it or not. And those little breakthroughs are huge. I was thinking about the other day, it's like I've been doing a lot of like experimental thought things, with journaling and stuff. So I was like, why don't we celebrate smaller victories, like being able to not respond with anger or whatever, like getting over that hump of like maybe it's a thing in a relationship that you solved, or a behavioral pattern that you recognize, that you shift and get over. We don't really like celebrate those things. We don't post those things on Instagram and be like, look at me, I just figured out how to live my life a little bit better. But we respond to, I just bought a car, or like, look at my new house,
which are like cool things, but like they're not as, in my opinion, they're not as difficult as those little wins, those mindset shifts, and just being able to like control anger. Like that's a huge one that like you don't really learn as a kid, unless you happen to have like parents who really tell you what that's all about. Like that's not in your public school curriculum, like, or
if they have you as a teacher,
we did a lot of that.
We should celebrate those things.
Absolutely. So for me personally, setting goals is like a weekly or monthly thing. Of course, I have long-term goals that I'm working towards, but I find that I respond better to like a very small, like, okay, this month I'm gonna, I don't know, get up a little earlier 3 times a week. Set it really attainable, so that when you get to the end of that month, you're like, all right, I did it. So now I can either keep it at that 3 times, or maybe next month 4 times a week. So making it really small so that you do have those victories. Because I feel like without that, I feel like that's my like special ed training, is like every kid needs something they can get to. And so you are constantly celebrating small wins in a special ed class. Because it's those little things that help kids get to the curriculum at all. So I feel like that for me really resonates, and I do that with my clients a lot. Whether or not I explain to them like, treating you like a special ed child.
Well,
I don't.
But that's great that you use that same approach.
It's very helpful.
And it creates that like snowball effect, where it's like atomic habits, right? Where you celebrate those little wins, and then before you know it, it's the end of the year, and you're like, look how much I've grown since last year.
Versus setting like one big goal on January 1st, and then like by January 14th, like I was always that person who's like, well, I failed, done for the year. And like that's such a crushing, hard way to live. So I'm like, well, I failed. I'm a failure, and that's like such a, like saying that to yourself is so damaging.
Oh yeah, don't I know it?
Yeah, right. We've all been there.
That's a great way to look at it. Just set smaller goals that are attainable, and then just treat it like a ladder, or like a mountain in that way, and realize that you might fail at some of those too, but that's okay.
And that's all right.
So are you like a pretty type A person? Like, do you stay organized and have a morning journal and routine and set your stiff goals?
Not at all. I'm messy and like creative, and everything is a mess. My brain is all over the place 100% of the time, so I have like sticky notes everywhere and notes on my phone, and to-do lists forever.
Same. It's hard as a business owner, because there's so much going on. But I have like ADD, I think, and sometimes that can really be a superpower in this thing, where it's like you can multitask. You can have a million different things going on, and I feel like if I at least sit down for 5 minutes and create a list so that I don't forget, or if I get that strike of like, oh, I've got this to do, I need to sit down and write this down. And that really helps just to kind of keep things in focus a little bit. But yeah, it's messy. It's hard. There's a million things going on, and it's it's hard to find time for yourself in there too. And I think that's my 2026 thing that I'm doing. Yeah. Do you have any goals for the
so
new
my
year?
like big resolution for the whole year is just to like find more opportunities for like joy and playfulness.
Yeah.
And then smaller goals are like, getting back into my workouts and just being more consistent with that, getting back into like reading books because I really haven't in a long time.
Yeah.
I've got several on my side table that I've like started and not finished.
Yeah.
So just like little things like that, adding that in, adding time for like a hobby or a craft into my week. I eat pretty well, so I haven't really tried to change that at all. But just like little small things that you can add in, I feel like is so much more attainable than like taking things out or stopping doing things.
Yeah.
That's harder.
So it's like, instead of saying, I'm going to read a book a month, it's like, I'm just going to read 10 pages a day.
100%. Yeah. Or even like 10 minutes a week is where I started. Because I was like, I'm not reading at all. To say I'm going to read a book a week or a book a month, it's like, it's just not going to happen. So I'm going to start with like, I'm going to read for 10 minutes. And then every week I'm reading for 10 minutes. And then up that a little bit the next week or the next month, like at a pace that feels achievable. Yeah. So
that's great.
It works for me.
Good. Yeah. I think we all need to have something to work towards. I mean, to your, all about it, right? Like you just said. But for me, like when it comes to fitness, having something to look forward to, like the half marathon or High Rocks or Spartan or some sort of like event or goal, that works for me.
Perfect.
Just staying consistent with that. But also, if I don't work out, I go a little cuckoo. So I need to I need to like express myself. I need to express these things. I need to breathe and sweat. And like, so for me, it's more of a practice, a yoga. Whether it's actually on the mat or with some kettlebells, like it's still a yoga. It's still a practice. And so that's kind of where I'm at with that now. But anyways, all right. So last question I have for you is your last meal question. So I ask everybody, if you were on death row for any reason, God forbid, right? But if you were, and you could have anything you wanted to eat, what would it be? It could be as much or as little, or as like, it could be a mix of different things.
So Indian food is like my favorite by far. And I like the spices. Like I like vindaloo, like that spicy hot. Probably like a vegetable vindaloo with like a whole bunch of naan. Like as much naan as they would give me.
Oh yeah, I like the coconut naan.
Yeah,
like coconut raisin or whatever. What to drink?
Ooh, I don't know. Probably an IPA.
There you go. Yeah, that would go good with that too.
Right?
Yeah, it'd be nice. Yeah.
Cut the spice a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Are you vegetarian or vegan?
No, I like vegetables a lot.
Okay.
My parents did a really good job growing up where like we always had some sort of a vegetable on the table.
Yeah.
A lot of times it was frozen or iceberg lettuce, but it was always there.
Yeah.
And that was always part of every meal. So I grew up enjoying them.
Yeah.
And I crave them, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I do eat a lot of like chicken and turkey, beef occasionally, but I like to build my meals around vegetables.
Very vegetable forward. Yeah, that's good. That's me too. I mean, I always incorporate some, or I've been doing a lot of salads lately just because, I don't know.
You can get so creative with them too.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah. It takes a little more work, I think, for me. Like, I don't know, it's just wrap my head around it. Like, okay, you got to chop this and this and this and this, all these things. A little more prep. But I'm used to it. I mean, I spend like 20 plus hours a week in here chopping vegetables and cooking stuff. And so for me to just make myself a little salad is like 5 minutes. Yeah. It's not a big deal. But anyways, do you have
last meal?
Oh, my last meal would be a big breakfast. It would be like steak, probably like a strip or a ribeye, some eggs over easy, hash browns, toast.
Love it.
Yeah. And maybe a tall beer. I actually stopped drinking, but if I'm gonna die tomorrow,
that's what I was thinking too.
A tall beer.
I was like, I haven't had an IPA in a while, but Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, might as well. So, and blueberry pancakes and like sausage
Ooh,
patties.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my
Like
thing.
a
Breakfast
full
food
big
is,
breakfast.
yeah,
Love
I
it.
love breakfast food. We
Yeah.
have breakfast for dinner all the time.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's easy.
It's easy, and it's just like there's something so comforting about it, you
Yeah.
know. And I think it's interesting, you know, like we said, you can tell a lot about a person by the way they move.
Hmm.
I feel like I can tell stuff about people by the way they eat, or like what they
For
eat, what
sure.
they consider comfort food.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to that. But what else do you have going on? Like, do you have classes that you're teaching or anything you want to promote?
Yeah. So I'm teaching yoga classes Thursday morning, 7:30 to 8:30 here in the mall. Thursday night, 7 to 8 on Phila Street, and Saturday morning here in the mall. I also found out they do the Spa City Farmers Market here.
Yeah,
So if
on
you're going to the
Saturdays.
farmers market, come to yoga first.
Oh yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, get your yoga on, and then get your fresh vegetables and local
Right?
goods, and
Yeah.
then go home and relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. If people want to know more about you or where they can find you on like social media or,
Yeah.
or website or email or anything.
So Instagram and Facebook, Continuous Evolution 518. That's also my website, continuousevolution518.com. Yeah,
Cool.
got it.
All
Yeah.
right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. We
Thank you
appreciate
for
you so
having me.
much,
This
and
was
thank you
awesome.
for all the work you're doing in the community.
Thanks.
Hopefully this will help spread the word of what you're doing, and you know, hopefully nothing but success for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Stay healthy, my friends. Peace.